Hi everyone, it's Kirsty and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to share with you my 10 tips on how to decorate your home on a budget. This video is in collaboration with Lindsay from Doma Home, so if you want 10 more tips on how to decorate on a budget, head on over to her channel and check it out. I will leave a link to her video and her channel in the description box below. I will say that Lindsay is my absolute inspiration as far as thrifty decorating and things that just turn out so beautifully on the most incredible budget. I will add that I am nowhere near as skilled at that as her, so consider this the Spendy Girls guide on how to decorate on a budget. Before we get into the video, if you're new here, welcome to my little community. My name is Kirsty, and if you haven't already, I would love if you could hit that subscribe button down below. It really helps my channel out, and that way you'll get notifications each week when I post a new video. So my first tip, and this is something I personally do all the time, is to shop your own home. So what I mean by this is that I don't own any piece of decor that stays in the one spot year round. When I'm looking to decorate for each new season, I go through my home and I collect everything into a pile that I think will work for decorating. And then I use those and I switch them around. I don't move my plants around too often because they very often don't take well to being moved. So those are probably one of the few things that I leave where they are once I find the right home for them. But otherwise, everything in my home is movable and transient. Tip number 2 is to keep a neutral color scheme. And I know I harp on about this all the time, and my color lovers out there probably groan every time I mention it. However, I'm not saying don't use color, but if you keep a mainly neutral base to your home, it makes things so much easier to move around and change up if you don't have all color everywhere. I mean, a prime example right now is that I am sitting on a green velvet couch, but you'll notice that I've paired neutral things with it. My next tip is to store all of your out of season decor with care. So things like all of your Christmas decor, I like to store everything in large plastic tubs with lids that clip on securely. I pick these up usually either from Walmart or Home Depot, and I store everything up in my attic. I have shelving up there, and I actually, have a bit of a collection. So I categorize by season, and if you had so much that you could break it down even further, you could maybe categorize by color, and that makes things so much easier to find when it comes to decorating for each new season. My big point of this is that if you're spending good money on decor for your home, you want to take care of it and store it with care so that it remains dust-free and safe and that it doesn't break. My fourth tip is to decorate with everyday items. My absolute favorite place to do this is in my kitchen. So I love to switch up a pretty basket or bowl and store my citrus in it. So lemons, limes, grapefruit. Another thing you can do is print one of your favorite recipes or a recipe you use all the time, pretty it up in a program like Canva, and then print it off and store it in a frame and use that as decoration in your kitchen. These are ways that you can use items that perhaps are unused at the time, but you obviously still want to keep. Instead of storing them in a cupboard behind a closed door, put them out on display, and it's such an easy way to use everyday items as decor. Now, if you've been watching my videos for a while, you know that I love to have fresh flowers in my home. And with spring coming up soon, hopefully, it's something I'm really looking forward to getting started each year, is growing my own flower cutting garden. Growing your own flower garden is both incredibly satisfying when it works out and practical. And decorating with flowers that you've cut from your own garden is free and definitely saves you money for half the year, so through spring and summer when the weather's warm enough to do it. Some of my favorite things to grow are dahlias, anemones and lilies from bulbs. And if you don't want to spend too much, maybe if it's your first time you're having a go at gardening and you want to start with seeds, I really love zinnias and cosmos. These grow really well everywhere. They're hardy, they're easy to grow. You can get them in seed packets and they cost only a few dollars, and you get tons of flowers out of them. They produce for ages. They were one of the last things to die in my garden come winter time. You definitely don't need a ton of space to get started either, and you can even grow your own flower garden in containers. So we've been talking about budget decorating items, but this is something I want to tell you to invest in, and that is really good quality pillow inserts. But the budget tip that goes along with this is that when you're shopping for new pillows for each season is to just buy the covers and not the inserts. It saves you money, and it means that you're avoiding those ugly, uncomfortable synthetic inserts that don't do that nice fluff and chop thing like this cushion. Cool. I also actually have a really good recommendation if you have an allergy to down and feathers, or if you just don't like them. I actually found this amazing alternative down insert. So it's synthetic, but it fluffs and chops like this, and I've actually used it in the pillow in my nursery just in case baby has any allergy to anything like that. And it's just from Amazon. They're not expensive, so I will link those down below and in my blog post if you head over to my blog. So something I always try to do is to follow this rule of thumb when I decorate, and that is the 70-30 rule. And by that I mean decorating with 70% items you already own and adding 30% new items. This is a great way to still go shopping, still go to the stores and pick up some of those pretty shiny new things, but you're not decorating your home with completely brand new items every season. It's really not necessary, especially as you build your collection each year. Now, I know this can be intimidating, but my next tip is to have a go at DIY. This is such a great way to create something yourself that would otherwise be very hard to buy on a budget in a store. I actually have videos on my channel on how I refinished my kitchen table using chalk paint, and also I think it was last week's video on how I made some open shelves in my living room. So I'll link both of those in the cards above as well as in the description box below. Tip number 9 is to get thrifting. You can try visiting thrift stores, second stores, yard sales, estate sales. There's lots of options out there for picking up secondhand or used decor and furniture items. And now I know that some of these stores can be hit and miss at times, but I've actually picked up some great things from places like Habitat for Humanity, which also then has a great cause attached to it. And finally, tip number 10, and this is something I try to do all the time, as often as I can if I'm disciplined with myself, is to only shop when there is a sale or a coupon. Places like Bed Bath & Beyond, Michael's, and even Pier 1 now always have some kind of sale or coupon. Also, don't be afraid to check for military or teacher discounts at a lot of these stores, because a lot of them do offer them even though they don't advertise them. So those are my 10 Spendy Girl tips on how to decorate on a budget. If you want 10 more incredible tips, head on over to Lindsay's channel and check those out. If you enjoyed today's video, I would love if you could give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all next week. Bye.